Well, preacher, I didn't come here for that this morning. I come for a bless me deal. Well, this will bless you if you're right with God. If it ain't, maybe it'll help you get right with God. What manner of persons? The Apostle Peter said, seeing that all these things are going to be dissolved. You know, I be poor. Hey, I guess none of you all probably. But I be poor. I be so poor, I was so poor when I was a boy, I couldn't pay attention. You can tell it, did you? You know, I often wonder about real wealthy people. It's been on my mind lately. It must be awful. You know, because you know them wealthy people die just like us poor people do. They just die in more comfortable surroundings. But you know, they don't live any longer than us. It must be something to have a big, super fancy mansion house and all that money, and you just have to die. Pastor, did you ever preach a funeral that an armored car followed the hearse? Never did. Did you ever preach a funeral where a U-Haul followed the hearse? You can't take it with you, quit trying. Oh, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness. Conversation there means conduct. How should we conduct ourselves, seeing that all these things are going to take place? If you want to be a part of that raptured church, if you want to be a part of that raptured church, I'm going to save some of you some money this morning. Anybody like to save money? You know, you can spend $100. You can send off and get you a DVD set from one of these guys on TV that'll tell you what to do in case you miss the rapture. Well, I'm going to save you $100. Don't spend it. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do if you miss the rapture. You're going to march right up and let them brand you. Because you're going to be in a world without God. Goofy people think they're going to get right with God when the raptures took place. If you can't live for God now, you sure enough ain't going to live for Him then. Did you hear what I said? That's nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know there's a church on every corner, a preacher on every corner? Did you know in North America, meaning the United States and Canada, there's more Christian bookstores than the whole rest of the world combined? If you can't live for God now, you believe you're going to live in a world without God. You think it's bad out there now in Chicago? I can tell you it's like a Sunday school picnic. What it's going to be like after the church is gone. Are you listening to me, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, I'm not done yet. You know, a preacher friend of mine years ago, he'd preaching about a world without God on television. One Sunday night, next morning, Monday morning, he goes to the bank. He's filling out that deposit slip. Said he didn't even realize it, but he was whistling a tune. Said he knew the banker personally. And the banker come up to him and said, "Hey, preacher," he said, "you sure must be happy." He said, "Why you say?" He said, "Because you're whistling." He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was." He said, "You sure are happy." He said, "I guess I am." He said, "I don't know if I'd be happy if I was you." Preacher said, "Why?" He said, "You know, I watched you on TV last night, and I don't know if I believe what you said, but I sure enough believe you believe what you said." And he said, "If I believe what you said, what you were saying coming up on this earth," he said, "I don't believe I can be a happy man." Oh, my preacher friend looked at that banker and said, "Oh, Mr. Banker, I'm sorry. You misunderstood me. That was your world I was talking about. Mine's just coming into view." Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hey, listen, if heaven's not my home, tell me, Lord, y'all didn't have this fence on me, I'd be out there preaching to you. Y'all built a fence to keep them in, didn't you? That's a smart move. You got Pentecostal preaching. Listen, I want to give you 4 things in closing. I should have told you all before I started that I am closing is a meaningless phrase used by preachers. I heard about a preacher one time closed 25 times in one message. I'll try not to do that. 4 things. 4 things about those people that's going to make that rapture. Number 1, the people of vision. I did not mean television. That's the only vision we have now, is television. A vision drives a man or woman. Oh, you know, just this, what was it, in February, my wife and I, end of January, we're in California. We go over into Arizona in February. We preach every year in Arizona for about 3 weeks. While I'm out there preaching, me and her, our granddaughter ends up going to come, but our granddaughter is going to come early, we find out. My granddaughter. We should have been, everything should have been fine. We should have been able to get back home. But you know, that all don't work that way. So I have to put my wife on an airplane from Phoenix and send her home for my son's getting ready to have his first baby. I've been there when all 3 of the others was born. But I'm going to Mesa, Arizona to preach a revival to a brand new church plant. Can you believe a 78-year-old man planted a church in Mesa, Arizona? And it's been advertised. I have to go. Told my son. I said, son, it broke my heart. I couldn't be there for the birth of my granddaughter. But listen, what would drive a man to do something like that? I told him I must needs be in Mesa. I have to. Why would that woman of mine, 36, going to be 37 years, I make her live out of a suitcase, sleep in a different bed, and we're like, why? I'll tell you why. They said